sa medication. So you can address that one. Okay. Baka naman ang problema niya ay financial aspect. Meron ba kayong pwedeng ibigay na alternative na gamot? So yung ganun. Pero syempre kailangan consult pa rin ito sa doctor class. Okay. And then of course, kapag nakita nyo yung mga problem na yon, if that requires to modify the medication, then communicate with the doctor. Always, always communicate with the doctor class, ha? Tandaan niyo yun, ha? So, hindi tayo pwede basta-basta mag-modify ng medication. Okay? Always communicate sa inyong physician. Okay. And then you have your ambulatory care pharmacy practice. So, ito lang yung para mga OPD, di ba? Pag ambulatory kasi, these are the patient that can manage to walk. Okay. It's an integrated, accessible healthcare services by the pharmacist. Accountable for addressing medication need. Importante ang sustainable relationship or sustained relationship. And of course, the practice should center in the context of family and then a community. Kung ano ang pangangailangan, of course, ng inyong community. Okay, prioritize natin yung kanilang needs. Okay, so of course, this can be accomplished. Of course, direct patient care, you involve your patient. Okay, and then medication management for ambulatory patient, specifically if you know that particular drug can, for example, induce a certain adverse drug reaction, or sabihin natin it can interact with the other medication, with other food, other health supplement. Okay. And then, of course, long-term relationship is important, class. You always build up rapport among your patient. Importante yun, na komportable yung inyong pasyente. Diba? And then, coordination of care. Okay, specifically, sabihin natin, may pumunta sa inyong pasyente. Kung yan ay minor ailment lang, then you can suggest an over-the-counter drug. However, if that situation requires a medical attention or a checkup, then you refer your patient to a medical doctor. Okay, para maresetahan siya ng tamang gamot. Okay, kailangan alam natin yung mga boundaries natin na ganon para at least, okay, tama yung treatment or medication na maibigay sa inyong pasyente. And then of course, patient advocacy. Okay, patient advocacy. You allow your patient to express their opinions. Okay, you let them ask question. Importante yon, diba? And also to allow them sana to choose whatever brands they want sa kanilang medication. Dahil meron naman tayong generic flow of dispensing, di ba? Okay. And then we have wellness and health promotion. This is important. Okay. So syempre this one, of course, it begins in your home, discipline, community level. So marami tayong mga facet kasi ng wellness and health promotion. Okay. So specifically, discouraging your patient to engage in certain vices. Okay, you have your triage and referral. This is very common, yung triage ngayon, di ba? So specifically dahil nga meron tayong COVID-19, bago ka pumasok sa ER, doon ka muna sa triage area para i-assess, di ba? So meaning to say, hindi ka directly napapasok sa inyong emergency room. The nurses, the doctors will check you first in this triage area before proceeding to emergency room. Okay. And then referral. Importante ito specifically if, for example, the hospitals cannot provide the service or the facilities okay, to address your condition. Diba? So, for example, sabihin natin, oh, yung pasyente nyo ay kailangan palang ilagay sa ICU. Okay. Eh, ang napuntahan mo ay level 1 hospital. Ang level 1 hospital ay walang ICU. Wala rin silang NICU. Diba? Yun kapag level ng hospital. So, ibig sabihin, i-endorse ka nila, ita-transfer ka nila, okay? I-refer ka nila sa ibang institusyon. Okay. Doon sa merong, of course, facilities to address your condition. Importante yon. Okay. And then, of course, patient medication, education and self-management. Importante ito. Okay. Unang-una, syempre, ang mga pasyente nyo madi-discharge yan sa hospital, ibig sabihin wala magsusupervise na healthcare professional. Just make sure na yung pag-inom ng medication, alam nila, they know how to use, for example, medical devices, kung may kailangan na medical devices. Okay? And of course, education. Importante yan. Okay, how to take the drugs. Okay, what are the do's and don'ts? May mga contraindication ba? May mga interaction ba? Proper storage is also important. Okay, so doon siya papasok lahat. Okay. So next, we have the definition of your MTM. Okay, accept ko like mga classmate niyo. Okay, distinct service or a group of services provided by the healthcare worker, which include the pharmacist, to ensure the best therapeutic outcome for patient. Okay, meaning to say, you are reducing, for example, drug therapy problems. You are reducing the possibility of medication errors. Okay, kapag medication therapy management. Okay, so of course, your adverse drug reaction, your medication error, or your drug therapy problems, they are all preventable. Tandaan ha, they are all preventable. Okay, that's why very important ang inyong MTM or your medication therapy. Medication therapy, okay, for early detection. Okay, so we have the core elements of medication therapy management. So you have the medication review, of course. As much as possible, if that is an outpatient, sana dala niya lahat ng medication, diba? Para makita nyo kung ano yung mga iniinom niya yung gamot. May possibility na makita nyo, okay, pwede na palang i-discontinue itong isang gamot kasi the other drug, okay, is intended for the same condition. So baka may duplication. Okay, so po pwede yun class. Okay, your MTM is effective for patient, of course, with multiple chronic condition. Diba? Multiple chronic condition, meaning to say it requires more than one medication. So baka dito papasok yung polypharmacy ninyo. Okay, and of course, if that is a chronic condition, syempre mas longer yung period ng treatment dito, diba? As compared sa inyong mga acute disease or illness. Okay, so kailangan talaga ng medication therapy management dito to ensure adherence and in compliance. Okay. So of course, kung merong complex medication therapies, how can we simplify this one? Diba? Ayan, syempre i-consider nyo yung inyong patient characteristic. Okay, educational attainment. Okay, yung kanyang attitude, yung kanyang behavior. So titignan niyo siya. Although attitude and behavior is, very difficult to assess, especially kung unang kita niyo pa lang. That's why you need to establish a long-term relationship with your patient. Okay, rapport, importante. Okay, high prescription costs, di ba? So baka ang problema ng pasyente nyo, mahal yung meds. Can you provide some alternative, di ba? And of course, multiple prescribers. Ayan. Problema with your multiple prescribers, sometimes, okay, hindi nag-uusap-usap yung mga yan. Not all the time. So, in mga cases, they do not communicate with each other. Meaning to say, baka tawag dito, nagkakaroon na tayo ng duplication, nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga contraindication, nagkakaroon na ng interaction doon sa mga drugs. Okay. You all know that according to your World Health Organization, the healthcare system of the Philippines is classified as fragmented, meaning to say there is a minimum coordination or communication among healthcare provider. Okay, kaya siya sinabing fragmented healthcare. Okay, next would be the personal medication review. Of course, this is same lang sa inyong medication review class. Okay, it's a personal medication review. Okay, you have the intervention and referrals. If you identify certain, sabihin natin, barriers, problems, or concern, it's important to provide an intervention, a doable intervention, okay, to address that barrier. Okay, again ha, doable dapat ito. Meaning to say, hindi ito suntok sa buwan na intervention. Yun yung importante dito. Okay, and of course, referrals. Again, once you identify a certain problem, make sure you provide an action. You intervene. Okay? Of course, ang goal lagi natin dito is to provide the best therapeutic outcome for your patient. Okay? And of course, you document everything. Importante yan. Okay? Document everything. And then, of course, you encourage your patient to do a follow-up, check-up, importante yon. Just to trace, may improvement ba sa condition niya or may progress ba? Okay, and of course, ay just simple na kamustahan, di ba? Ma'am, kamusta po kayo as compared nung last visit nyo? May improvement po ba sa condition nyo? Kamusta po yung iniinom yung gamot? Hindi po ba kayo nahihilo pag iniinom nyo siya? So yung mga ganon, so yung mga concern, kailangan lang naman ng pasyente lagi na makita nila na meron kayong somehow sincerity, 'di ba? Importante 'yun sa long-term relationship. Okay. And of course, you do your medication-related action plan. Okay. So tandaan kung medication-related action plan, just make sure that should be smart. 'Di ba? Smart, attainable, okay, measurable, achievable, and of course, dapat within a specific time, possible siya. Okay. Okay, so andito naman lahat ng definition. Ayan. So of course, dito sa part na to, you have the personal medication review or PMR. Again, the pharmacist. Ang pharmacist ang involved dito. Okay? Patients receive a record of all the current medication. Okay, so tandaan lahat. Okay, ang concern nyo dito will always be the dose, okay, the dosage regimen or schedule, and then some kind of interaction or duplication kung meron. Okay, intervention or referral, okay na tayo dyan. Alagay na dyan. Kapag meron kayong drug-related problems, the pharmacist or the other healthcare professional will intervene. Okay, but always, tandaan nyo, collaborate or communicate, okay, sa ating physician. Importante yun. Okay, what would be the expected outcome for medication therapy management? Of course, you will ensure that the drug will be used using the right dose. And then, of course, right dosage regimen are identified. Okay, just to improve, syempre, treatment quality. And then of course, unnecessary medication or identify. O so yon, baka naman may pwede nang tanggalin na medication to reduce the cost, 'di ba? And para hindi na mas maging complex yung inyong therapy. Okay, and of course, adherence to medication is evaluated. No, syempre, sa patient ito, pwede nyo naman tanungin, ma'am, meron po ba kayong problem doon sa pag-inom po ng gamot ninyo? Okay, ka na-identify kayo, make sure to do a doable suggestion. Okay, untreated condition are identified. Okay, so meaning to say, when it comes to untreated condition, pwedeng dalawa ito class, manggaling doon sa inyong patient or through objective data, nakukuhan or objective parameter natin. Sometimes kasi, if you do a medication review, if you review the physical assessment, if you review the laboratory test, diagnostic test, so baka merong nakalusot. Diba? May mga ganong kasing cases. O bakit hindi yata nabigyan si patient ng ganitong medication? Mataas, for example, yung kanyang WBC. So yung mga ganun class. Okay. And of course, medication costs are evaluated. Ayan, medication costs are evaluated. And of course, syempre, importante ito, especially kung inpatient yung pasyente nyo. Unang-una, we all know that we adopt your universal healthcare, di ba? Okay. And then, your government hospitals, okay, government hospitals, as well as the private hospitals, syempre, they reimburse. Okay, they reimburse. Kung ano man yung medication cost na nagamit nila sa hospital ng inyong mga pasyente. But it's always a case rate basis, di ba? hindi nila nililibre lahat. Ibig sabihin natin for community-acquired pneumonia, sabihin natin ang case rate nila, let's say for example, 30,000. So yun lang. Okay? So it's really important to evaluate your medication cost para maiwasan natin yung mga out-of-pocket expenses natin. Okay? Para may nakita akong out-of-pocket expenses kanina doon sa infographics nyo. Hindi ko na lang matandaan kung kaninong ano yun, infographics. Okay. And of course, education, okay na tayo dyan. Okay. And of course, you encourage your patient to be active. So, kailangan meron siyang self-reliance, di ba? Yan, importante yon. Okay. And then, if you want to improve, okay, may mga tools ba na pwede kayong gamitin to improve medication adherence? Ayan. And if you cannot address the problem, okay, referral, importante ha, especially if the problem is multifactorial. Okay, so syempre in terms of diagnosis, tayo ang karaniwang nilalapitan ng pasyente kasi sa atin yung mga gamot, di ba? Again, boundaries and then limitation, importante yon. Okay, documentation and follow-up, okay na tayo dyan. Okay, medication-related action plan, tandaan, it's a roadmap. Tandaan ha, it's a roadmap, di ba? Kaya siya medication-related action plan. Okay, you empower your patient to take personal action and track their progress self-development. Okay, ang ibig mong sabihin nito, for example, after ng treatment, sabihin natin, okay, after ng treatment, for example, ng elevated level ng cholesterol, let's say for example, so gaano katagal, 'di ba, bago bumaba yung cholesterol niya. So dito, it's a roadmap. So makikita mo rito, meron kang timetable. Okay, no, na dapat may improvement na yung pasyente, for example, after ng ganitong buwan. It's a roadmap, pag medication-related action plan. Just make sure that you will eliminate all the perceived barriers towards achieving a definite outcome. Importante yon. Okay. Per outcome ng inyong documentation, so of course, importante yun, continuity, di ba? Hindi na po pwedeng hindi nababalik yung pasyente nyo kapag na-check up na. Laging may follow-up yan, di ba? To reassess, re-evaluate your patient. Okay. For medication, of course, it allows the patient to engage or to manage his own health and then develop actionable step for patient, the pharmacist, and other healthcare provider. And then in here, since it's a roadmap, syempre it's not as smooth, ano naman eh. You will of course encounter problem that may arise during, for example, this timetable. So importante yon to encourage your patient to communicate with the healthcare provider so we can address kung ano man yung problem na yon. Okay. And then, explore ways, syempre, to reduce the cost, you improve adherence, and offer less expensive alternatives when viable. Okay, because there are some medication talaga class na very, sabihin natin strict yung inyong mga physician with regards to brand. So, na-explain ko naman na yan before, di ba? Na in terms of the clinical effect, meron siyang iba. Di ba? Hindi siya ganun ka-therapeutic equivalent. Okay. So, yan. So, connect lang ulit sa Zoom class kasi less than a minute na lang. Hintayin lang nating mag-end ito. Okay, to continue. So, we have an example of MAP or medication-related action plan. So, that's a template from the Center for Medicare and Medical Services. But you can modify this one class. Template lang naman ito. Okay. So you have the personal medication list for, so insert the member's name, okay, date of birth, okay, month, and then day, year, format. Okay. So you have here the date prepared, importante yan. Okay, allergies or side effects, importante yan class, huwag kakalimutan. Okay, lagi naman nating tinatanong yan, di ba? May allergies po ba sa gamot? Okay, so kung wala, then it's good, di ba? Pero doesn't mean na hindi natin i-observe yung inyong pasyente. Okay? Kung magkakaroon ba ng allergies. And then, side effects. Importante yan. Okay, side effects. Gaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo before, there are some side effects na tolerable naman. However, depende yan sa pasyente, di ba? Merong mga pasyente na medyo mainda, na for example, nahihilo lang sila, hindi nila kaya. So, importante to take notes kung ano man yung mga side effects na yon. Okay. Medication, okay. Of course, generic name, brand name, okay, and then strength or potency, and then the dosage form. Okay, so yun yung importante dyan. Okay, these are your current medication or active medication lang. Okay, how the patient use the medication. Okay, particularly the frequency. Okay, and then of course the route of administration. Kung may devices na ginagamit, then include. Okay. And then the indication, 'di ba, para saan? Okay, of course, the name of the prescriber. Okay. And then, this next column, itong nasa baba, okay, kung meron lang kayong mga optional product-related information. Ayan. If you want, for example, to enhance the compliance, kunwari hindi marunong magbasa yung pasyente, o nay, itong tablet na shape, na ang shape ka ay puso, ito yung iinumin mo sa umaga. So yung mga ganon. So po pwede naman yun. Okay. And then of course, the date. Okay, when the patient started the medication, so ilagay natin dyan, and then the stop date. Okay, and then of course, the reason. So dito, kung mapapansin ninyo na, ay hindi pa tapos yung yung duration, o yung prescribed duration ng treatment, nag-stop na siya on the 4th day. So ano kaya yung reason dito? So kailangan nakalagay dito. But syempre, we need to evaluate the reason, 'di ba? Kasi baka sabihin ng pasyente na siya ay nahihilo or nagsusuka sa medication, 'di ba? Okay. Pero magtataka ka, bakit umabot pa hanggang 4th day? Bakit hindi nung 2nd day or nung 1st day ni-report yon, 'di ba? So kailangan nating i-validate yung mga information na yon. Okay. So next, of course, so you have here a column, okay, that identifies the name of medication. So of course, depende yan kung gaano karami yung inyong medication. You can also include, tandaan ha, lahat ng mga over-the-counter drugs nyo rito. Okay, lahat ng herbal preparation, your vitamins and minerals include. Okay. And then of course, the reason, okay, or indication kung para saan siya. For example, this particular drug is used for your hypertension, to manage your sugar, sabihin natin, for infection, etc. And then the dosage form is important. Okay, lagay natin dyan. And then the potency. Okay, and then syempre yung dosage schedule niya. Okay, so it's the twice a day ba? Okay, with or without meals ba? Ayan, doon na yun sa special notes. And then, action items and then goals natin. Importante yon. Okay. So for example, ang goal natin is, for example, you have an obese patient, di ba? And then, syempre, meron ditong mga lifestyle changes. And then sabihin natin, nag-prescribe ka, for example, na medication intended to reduce weight. So, syempre, yun yung magiging goals natin, diba? To, tawag dito, to decrease and patient weight. Okay, pero syempre yun, make sure na yun ay, tawag dito, doable. Lagi ko sinasabi yung class, ha? Sabihin nating 3 months, gusto mo bigla maging normal na yung weight ng pasyente, sobrang obese ng pasyente. So, make sure na importante dito, merong improvement yung inyong pasyente. So, yan. So, lahat ng goal. Actually, lagi naman tayong to normalize, di ba? Hindi natin, baka may nakita kayo, okay, ang goal ko, ipababain yung sugar ng pasyente kasi ang taas. Bumaba na bumaba yung sugar ng pasyente. Di ba usually pag bumababa yung sugar ng pasyente, ang tendency nagsisi-sure siya, di ba? So kailangan lagi doon lang kayo sa normal. range or level. Okay, importante yon. Okay. So this one, you have an example here in the context of your cardiovascular disease prevention. Okay, the MTM can include broad range of services. Okay. So for example, sabihin natin ang problema mo ay hypertension. Okay, and then uncontrolled. Okay. So education is important, and then syempre uncontrolled, kailangan niya ng medication. And syempre, apart from medication, you advise your patient to engage in lifestyle modification. Ayan, 'di ba? So discipline, ayan, dapat healthy behavior, food intake, so yung mga yan. Okay, so we have an example here para mas makita nyo. So you see, meron ditong allergies. This is for patient Jane Smith. Okay, so procainamide. So yan. So nagpo-produce daw siya or meron once the patient take procainamide, nagkakaroon ng lupus-like reaction. For quinidine, meron siyang cholestatic jaundice. And then for azithromycin, so meron siyang hives. So kumbaga ito parang meron siyang type 1, 'di ba? Hypersensitivity. 'Di ba? Kasi hives yan eh. Tatandaan nyo doon sa inyong gels and foams, 'di ba? Type 1 yan, yung inyong mga allergy. Okay. Excuse me, class. Okay. So you have the medication. So nakalagay dito yung medication nyo. Ayan. Okay. Pwede niyo na itong pagsamasamahin sa isang column class para mas mabilis. Ayan. Pero hindi siya yung ano ha, tuloy-tuloy. So mas maganda ito na yung nasa taas, this one, yung inyong meds, okay, yung kung paano i-take, okay, ng pasyente nyo. Okay, dosage schedule. Ayan. Maganda ito na ganyan ha. Huwag niyo siyang i-justify na pantay-pantay siya. Okay? Para yung mata niyo pag binabasa, ayan, may sinusundan niya na pag ganon. Mas madali siyang basahin. Okay? Unlike kapag pantay-pantay, so baka may mamiss kang details. Unlike ito na yung mata mo parang alam niyo na paano pupunta sa kaliwa, punta sa kanan, kaliwa, kanan. So yung gano'n. Mas madali siyang mabasa. Okay. So again, you have the instruction, 2 tablets, PO, 2 times a day, taken in the morning and at dinner time. Okay. So yon. Okay, purpose ng inyong acetaminophen. So for this one, so alam niyo naman ng inyong acetaminophen, meron siyang analgesic activity. So this one is for arthritis pain. So morning, okay, so anong oras? Since this is twice a day, kung makikita nyo, importante ito class ha, kasi looking at the instruction which is twice a day, usually di ba tayo pag twice a day, ite-take mo ng 9 a.m. at saka 6 p.m., di ba? Pero kung makikita nyo to, 12 hours yung interval. So kaya kailangan explicitly dapat alam ng inyong pasyente to, explicitly nakalagay to dapat dito. Kasi kung ako ang titignan ko dito, so parang ang dating sa akin nito is take the drug or 2 tablets, sabihin natin every 12 hours. Given na ganito yung kanyang, tawag dito, given na ganito yung kanyang duration. So, for me ha, okay, hindi ito 2 times. Yes, it's 2 times a day, pero hindi siya yung BID, di ba? So, every 12 hours ito. Okay, so madaling intindihin yung pag 12 hours. Pag sinabi mo 12 hours, ma'am, 9 to 9, 9 a.m. and then 9 p.m. And then you have 2 tablet. Okay, and then nakalagay naman dyan kung kailan ang bedtime. Bedtime is 10 p.m. to, hindi ko makita yung ano class, medyo malabo siya. Ayan, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Pero syempre sa ating mga Pilipino, 10 p.m. is too late, 'di ba? Masyado ng gabi yan sa atin. 'Di ba? Usually umiinom kayo ng gamot ng 7, 8, lalo siguro pag nasa probinsya, 'di ba? So 'yon. So depende, syempre. Okay, so pwede tayo mag-adjust dyan. Okay, you have your glucosamine. Again, this is also for arthritis pain, ayan, or chondroitin sulfate. So, kita nyo dito, class, 2 times a day. This is 9 a.m. and then 5 p.m. Diba? So, yon. Kasi nakita nyo yung difference ng 2 times a day doon sa aceto and then glucosamine. And then you have your albuterol. This is your salbutamol. Salbutamol lang yan, ha? Albuterol. It's a solution for inhalation 3 times a day. Okay? Via a nebulizer. Okay? Can use more often kung meron pa ring shortness of breath. Okay? So kaya nakita nyo, gumamit pa siya during bedtime. Diba? But the standard is 3 times a day. So you have 915. Tandaan ha, that's 915. Okay. And then 10 p.m. bedtime. Okay. And then you have your Esperiva. Esperiva is tiotropium. Tiotropium bromide, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Okay. You can look sa Google sa inyong Esperiva kung ano yung generic. It's tiotropium. Okay. Tiotropium bromide. Okay. 18 microgram is a powder for inhalation. Okay. 1 pop once a day. So, yan. So, yan ha. Just make sure that you minimize the column para walang confusion. Ayan, for easy understanding. Okay. So, if the stop date is necessary as with antibiotic, this can be added to the dosage instruction. So, tandaan ha, you specify if the antibiotics will be taken for 7 days or if the antibiotic is for 3 days only or 5 days only. May mga ganon, di ba? So, I think na-discuss ko na yan ng prelim na in terms of the activity, iba-iba ang inyong antibiotics. There are some that is considered to be a time-dependent killing action, meaning to say, yung exposure ng bacteria over time, yun yung basis natin para maging effective siya. There are some na concentration-dependent antibiotics, di ba? Wherein yung kanilang concentration should be way above the minimum inhibitory concentration to remain effective. Okay. So, yun ha. So, alam niyo na yung mga concentration, di ba? Classic example is your azithromycin taken for 3 days, but you can extend this one for 5 days, but never 7 days. So, yun yung tatandaan nyo sa inyong mga concentration-dependent and time-dependent antibiotics. So, you have the benefits of patient-centered PML, okay, or patient personal rather medication list. So it will provide you an organized information. Okay, it's a patient-centric process. Ayan. So of course, your patient will be more aware of the indication or the purpose of the medication. And of course, when is the time to take the medication? So yan. Okay. So if you want to improve the compliance, then you can use symbols, pictures, or image of tablet. Okay. And of course, it will empower your patient, diba? So it's more of improving health literacy. Okay. Again, use simple terms, simple words that the patient will understand. Again, so syempre sa atin, Tagalog, kapag makikipag-usap kayo sa inyong pasyente. Okay. So again ha, no medical jargon, no highfalutin words, no ambiguous term. So yun ha, simple, payak. Yun lang ang dapat. Importante, lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo, hindi nyo kailangan ni-impress ang inyong pasyente. Ang kailangan ng pasyente, maintindihan kayo. Okay, yun yung goal natin dito. Okay. Yan. Okay. And then acronym, syempre, we discourage the use of acronyms. Yung mga acronyms, mnemonics, ginagamit lang natin yan kung estudyante kayo. Diba? Hindi yan para sa patient. Okay. Especially kung matanda yan, hindi rin naman niya matatandaan. Okay. Okay, so we have the medication therapy management. So you have here the evidence of effectiveness. Kung makikita niyo siya, 'di ba? This is from a different journal class. Okay, so you have the internal validity kung nakita niyo, 'di ba? So very strong internal validity. And then of course, This body of evidences supports, of course, the benefits of using your medication therapy management. So, yan. So, pero syempre, it's really important to guide your patient and of course to implement the intervention. You can implement the intervention if you identify the barriers because this barrier will give you a gap, 'di ba? Will give you a gap and then you provide the opportunities, okay, for example, to improve the practice or to address a certain problem. So yan. And then of course, if you, for example, duplicate, okay, sabihin natin several studies, then um, you will replicate. You will replicate the results. Importante yon ha, replication sa ating mga studies. Especially if you utilize the same methodology or methods. Ayan. Okay. So nakita niyo it's well supported, ayan, and then it's promising and then emerging. So although dalawa lang yung green sa promising or emerging, of course, especially in the Philippines, sanay kasi tayo na ang pharmacist nasa botika lang, 'di ba? So slowly alam niyo na, nagkakaroon na ng transition sa practice natin, we cannot avoid resistance, 'di ba? So siyempre yung mga iba hindi pa gano'n ka-welcoming doon sa transition ng practice natin so it will take time. Baby steps, 'di ba? Importante 'yon, baby steps. Okay. Okay, evidence of impact, nakita niyo naman ang health impact, okay, 'di ba? Ayan. And then health disparity. This is through class, 'di ba? Especially sa Pilipinas, meron pa rin tayong unequal distribution, okay, ng mga resources and then unfair access doon sa mga healthcare services natin, 'di ba? Ayan. And of course, the economic impact, you need to support this one. Importante iyon. Especially if a country is starting, for example, to involve the pharmacies. So definitely, you need to, for me you need to, of course, review the curriculum, di ba? So, syempre sa curriculum natin, nakita nyo, di ba? Ang dami-daming mga kung ano-ano mga chemical structure. Magagamit ko ba yan sa practice ko? Hindi, di ba? So, I think it's high time for the government to review our curriculum para mas maging, alam niyo yon, mas maging equipped tayo or mas maging skilled tayo on how to, for example, handle this kind of problem sa ating practice. So instead sabihin natin na, anong tawag dito? Yung mga subject, for example, na mayroong mga chemistry, bakit kaya hindi na lang ang ibigay nila dito ay biology of disease, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. Para mas maintindihan natin yung mga diseases, 'di ba? O kaya baka po puwedeng, magkaroon ng isang, course or subject na naka-focus lang sa lahat ng antibiotics, 'di ba? Naka-focus doon sa mga adverse drug reaction, 'di ba? Naka-focus sa drug interaction. Para at least mas knowledgeable tayo, okay? Mas mag-improve yung knowledge natin sa mga areas na yon, 'di ba? Kasi let's face it, dito sa Pilipinas, okay, so hindi naman tayo masyadong involved doon sa mga research. Yon, sa UP meron yan definitely sa industrial pharma, 'di ba? Pero sana magkaroon ng ano ng tawag dito, major or specialization sana, mas maganda yon, 'di ba? Kumbaga may ano ka, area of expertise. Okay. So hindi ko na babasahin yung mga health impact na yan and then health disparity. Okay. So next, we have the DTP or the drug medication therapy problem. Undesirable, of course. This is not part of the therapy. Diba? Okay, it is suspected or involved and that interferes with the goal of achieving with achieving the desired goals of the therapy, and this one requires a professional judgment to resolve. 'Di ba? Importante ito when you see a medication therapy problem, always make sure to address this one, especially kung ito ay bothersome sa inyong pasyente or may direct impact doon sa inyong therapy, always address your TTP. Okay. So we have the three primary components. Number one, it's an undesirable because not part of the therapy. It's an undesirable event or risk experienced by the patient. Okay. Number one, it is a medical complaint. Okay. Kung for example, you have a disease, for example, okay, you have a medical problem or a medication therapy problem or a DTP rather, and then the DTP problem arises to a disease. Okay. Tandaan ha, for example, it leads to a certain disease. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon kayo ng sakit dahil sa isang medical intervention. That's iatrogenic. Kung natatandaan nyo yun ha, iatrogenic disease. Ang tawag doon. Okay. Your sign and symptoms, ano ang pinagkaiba ng inyong signs and symptoms? Hmm. Ano pinagkaiba niyang class? Signs and symptoms. Hmm. Alin dyan yung subjective data? Pwede kayong mag-chat. Pag symptoms, again, that's a subjective data. So manggagaling yun sa inyong patient. Diba? For example, sabihin natin nakaramdam siya ng dizziness. Kasi kapag pasyente nakita mo, di ba? Ayan, hindi mo naman masasabi right away, na nahihilo yung pasyente. Di ba? Okay, so kung meron siyang pain, 'di ba, hindi mo naman agad makikita. Although siguro sa facial expression makikita mo, pero it's more of a subjective data. Pag sign naman, that's measurable. Okay, yan yung nanggagaling sa inyong mga medical practitioner. Kunwari, kumuha kayo ng RBS. Nakita niyo na elevated yung sugar. Okay, that's sign, 'di ba? Or sabihin natin na yung WBC elevated. So, yun yung inyong mga sign. Okay. And then, diagnosis, disease, illness, impairment, etc. Okay. And then, the drug therapy associated with the problem, importante yon. Pag may nakita kayong undesirable event, so ano yung culprit, kumbaga, ano yung naging cause, di ba? So, importante yon. And then, the causal relationship that exists between your drug therapy problem or this undesirable event and the drug. Diba? Kailangan nyo ma-establish yun. May causal relationship ba? Okay. Kaya nakalagay dyan, undesirable event and drug therapy. Okay. Kung merong causal relationship or direct association, then if you cannot discontinue the medication, then you add a therapy that will address the medication problem. Okay, kung hindi nyo po pwedeng ihinto, kung walang alternative na available, it's really important to address the drug therapy problem. Yun yung lagi yung tatandaan. Okay. So you have the definition of term. So side effect, this is very common. Tandaan ha. This is documented. Okay. Ibig sabihin sa mga literature, makikita nyo yung side effect ng inyong drug. 'Di ba? Mas common natin na ginagamit yon yung side effect doon sa mga documented, okay, documented na known effect ng inyong drug. Okay, again, usually kapag side effect class, pumapasok siya na type A sa inyong adverse drug reaction. Diba? It's an augmented, meaning to say an extension of the pharmacologic activity of the drug. Okay, yung inyong side effect. Unlike your ADR, diba, this is obnoxious and unintended that appears when you use the therapeutic dose of the drug. Meaning to say, very few or sabihin natin small fraction of the population experience or adverse drug reaction. Again, it's always unexpected. Okay, yun yung tatandaan nyo dito. Okay. Error, syempre, if you fail to carry out a specific plan intended for a patient, 'di ba? So that's an error, 'di ba? For example, you failed, for example, to administer the drug using a correct route. Instead na sabihin nating PO lang dapat yung sa gamot na yon, eh ang nakuha mo pala ay ampule na administer mo IV, 'di ba? It's error, administration error 'yon, 'di ba? Or for example, sabihin naman ang nireseta sa iyo ay let's say for example, tawag dito, domperidone, 'di ba? Domperidone, and then ang nai-dispense mo ay doxycycline, 'di ba? That's dispensing error, 'di ba? So yun yung mga yun. So makikita natin later kung ano yung mga type ng inyong medication error. Okay. Adverse event, again, kapag may incident that harms the patient. Okay. Medication safety. So you have here to ensure that your medication is safe to use. Unang-una, make sure that it involves the right patient. You use that for the right patient. Okay, you always check the ID bracelet. Meron naman yon. And then you ask the patient to state their name. Okay lang kahit hindi na birth date. Ayan. Especially 'pag matatanda, 'di ba? Okay lang basta kung ano yun. Actually, hindi niyo naman tinatanong minsan yung pangalan ng pasyente. Ang tatanungin niyo lang, "Ma'am patient, for example, Rodrigo Canibas po." "Yes po." Gaganon sila, 'di ba? And then you have the bracelet naman, puwede niyo naman tingnan yon. Okay. And then of course, always check the chart for the allergy, importante yon. Okay. Kasi baka hindi na-communicate kay doctor, may allergy pala yung pasyente. Nurses siyempre kailangan. Okay, and then right drug, triple, tandaan ha, triple check sa inyong medication label. Okay. So, siyempre sa atin sa dispensing, make sure kapag dinispense yung drug, okay, pag kinuha nyo, 'di ba? So, dapat i-check nyo. Okay, and then pag nilagay nyo sa lalagyan, i-check nyo. Kapag iaabot nyo sa pasyente nyo, i-check nyo. Triple check sana. Okay. And then, label, importante sa mga loose tablet. Ayan. And then, kailangan match siya sa inyong physician order. And then, okay, tandaan ha, wag na wag kayong mag-a-administer ng medication na for example, constitute or nilagay sa syringe ng ibang, for example, healthcare provider. Pero syempre, nurses na to. Ayan. And then, pag walang label, wag i-administer. Right dose, importante ito ha. Ayan. Very crucial syempre ang inyong dose. Ayan. Kailangan inappropriate range per patient. Right time, okay, schedule of medication. Allowed naman tayo na i-administer yung inyong drugs within 30 minutes of the schedule. Okay, 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after, okay lang yon ha? So tandaan, may grace period naman tayo, ha? So 30 minutes after no schedule, okay pa yon ha? May grace period tayo. Right route, syempre, importante yan. O because syempre, if the doctor instruct you to give the medication IV, meaning to say, kailangan ng, tawag dito, fast effect ng inyong drug. Okay, faster, 'di ba? Kasi nga direct sa inyong systemic circulation. Kumbaga kailangan niya ng tawag dito, usually kapag IB kasi class, it's used to manage a condition that requires, of course, urgent attention, 'di ba? Or medical attention. So yan. And syempre, concentration will always equate to therapeutic action ng inyong drug. Pero syempre, careful tayo doon, di ba? Especially for those drug na may possibility na tawag dito, mag-exceed sa inyong therapeutic window. So, andito pa yung iba, right education, tandaan ha, importante ito, right to refuse, yan, per document, dapat may waiver dito ha, you notify the physician, and then you keep, for example, the waiver. Right assessment, so syempre, your right assessment, okay, tandaan is important because this will be the basis of drug therapy. Kung ano man ang makikita nyo sa inyong lab test, sa inyong physical assessment, Yun yung basis ng ating doktor, 'di ba? Kung anong ipe-prescribe niyang gamot. Okay. And then you document kung meron mang hindi na-administer na gamot, ano ang reason. Nag-refuse ba yung pasyente na hindi tanggapin yung medication or baka may allergy yung inyong pasyente. So yun. Okay, right evaluation. Okay, progress, importante yan. Diba? So makikita nyo naman kung may improvement sa inyong patient condition. And then for documentation, never document before medication is administered. Tandaan ha, administer then document. Yan, sa mga nurses natin yan. Okay, next. So we have here the description of the drug therapy problems categories. So yan. Okay. And then we have the unmet drug-related needs as drug therapy problems. Okay, tandaan ha, yung 1 to 7, these are the categories. Tandaan ha, categories of drug therapy problems. Yung andito sa inyong column na kulay orange, mga drug-related needs. In the context of indication, effectiveness, safety, and then adherence. Okay. So, tingnan natin ha. Indication. O, nakalagay dito, number 1 and 2 siya. Okay. So, itong dalawa na ito. Hindi nga pala na-edit ito. Okay. Kalimutan ko kasi yung password dito, class, kaya naka-read only lang. Okay. 1 and 2 for indication. The drug therapy is unnecessary. Okay. Because the patient does not have a clinical indication at this time. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, wala pa tayong proper diagnosis with this one. Okay, tandaan ha, wala pang diagnosis. Okay, so hindi mo siya po pwedeng ibigay sa inyong pasyente. So it's a drug therapy problem. Paano ka nag-come up sa isang gamot wala kang basis, di ba? Next, additional drug therapy is required to treat a medical condition in the patient. Still indication. Meaning to say, somehow, merong na-overlook na condition yung pasyente na hindi nabigyan ng medical intervention. For example, drug. Okay. So that's number 2. Again, your 1 and 2 is indication. Okay, for effectiveness, that's 3 and 4. The drug product is not being effective. Okay. So you re-evaluate, you check the medication. Ano ba ang problema nito? Bakit hindi nagkakaroon ng progress yung inyong patient? Okay. Another, sabihin natin, this is related to the dosage or the potency of your drug. Baka po pwedeng yung dose nyo ay mas mababa. Okay. Ibig sabihin, subtherapeutic siya. Diba? Okay. Hindi po pwedeng mas mataas kasi safety na yon kapag mas mataas. Okay, for your safety, that's 5 and 6. The drug is causing an adverse drug reaction. Okay, paano kung adverse drug reaction nyo ay serious, di ba? Baka ma-prolong niya yung hospitalization ng inyong patient. Or for example, if the dosage is extremely high, di ba? Producing undesirable effect. Okay, that is, syempre, contributes, okay, or further, for example, exacerbate patient condition. Okay, for your adherence, that's number 7. The patient is not able, diba, unintentional, diba, unintentional non-adherence or willing to take the drug therapy as intended. So, madali lang siya. All you need to do is to memorize indication, effectiveness, safety, and then adherence. Categories, pag binigay sa inyo, madali lang. Dahil yung mga categories naman will provide you clue kung ano siyang drug-related needs, whether it's an indication, adherence, safety, or effectiveness. Okay. So next. Okay, so we have the medication safety, you have the definition of medication errors. Again, preventable event. Okay, tandaan ha, that may lead to inappropriate medication use or patient harm while the medication is in the control of the healthcare professional. O, tandaan ha. Okay, meaning to say, ito ay karaniwang nangyayari sa inyong mga hospital setting. Okay, pero syempre, it will cover also yung mga OPD, di ba? Kasi syempre, nanggaling sa'yo yung pasyente, kahit OPD pa yan or walk-in yan, responsibility natin to ensure that the medication is safe. Di ba? Okay. So, again, this is bentable. All you need to do is to conduct a medication review to detect medication error. Okay. So, approaches to classify your medication error. Okay, of course, a sequence of medication use process. Okay. Ibig sabihin, okay, pag sinabi nating sequence of medication use process, okay, so paano natin, for example, ginamit yung inyong medication? Okay. So ano ang mga errors na pwede nating ma-encounter sa inyong medication use? So madami yan, di ba? Po pwedeng sabihin nating administration, dosage. So yan. Okay. Type